I want to do a little trigger warning before I start this video. I am going to be mentioning the word anxiety a lot in this video. So if that's something that makes you uncomfortable and it triggers you in a really negative way, I would suggest not to watch the video because it is going to constantly be said. So that's just me looking out for you. So let's get into this video. Your mental health is important. You are not your anxiety. Your anxiety does not own you. You can fight whatever you put your mind to. Welcome back to my channel. It's Noelia Isabel. If you didn't know, now you know. Anxiety. Many people suffer with anxiety. You're not alone. So first, let's start with where anxiety comes from, because anxiety stems from somewhere. Our past traumas, from really hard situations in life that we have had to face. Anxiety comes from negative experience that you have went through. It's super important to be informed where your anxiety has came through, and that's inner work that you yourself have to do. I have always struggled with anxiety ever since I was a little girl, and I believe that my anxiety stems from being bullied ever since I can remember. I literally got bullied in freaking pre-K. I'm not even joking. Like, I know that's where my anxiety stems from. And that anxiety literally took hold of me. That anxiety is who I let myself become. I let myself become my anxiety. And of course, becoming an adult, my anxiety got worse with adult responsibilities, constantly worrying about adult stuff, because the adult life is, it's serious. It's really serious. So my anxiety just got worse. And after having a baby, after having my daughter, my anxiety reached levels that I had no idea it could reach. My anxiety literally got so bad. We can just call it postpartum anxiety, because postpartum, it got horrible. The worst anxiety I've ever felt. But since becoming a parent to a child, I've learned to cope with it better than ever before. Like, I literally can cope with my anxiety way better. The thought of my daughter makes me stronger. The thought of having to protect a child, another life, a little person who depends on me, I F up my anxiety. Like, you can't mess with me today. I don't think that you can fully get rid of anxiety, but I do believe that there are ways and techniques to be able to cope with your anxiety, be able to cope with it, to be able to manage it. I'm gonna start with my ways of coping with my anxiety the second I feel it hit my body. Number one is mindfulness. When I feel my anxiety about to kick into my body, you know when your anxiety is about to come. I'm literally super mindful of it. I literally prepare myself. I prepare myself for the coping techniques that I have. I prepare myself so that I don't let the anxiety completely take over me in that moment. Because I am aware that I can't stop the anxiety. Once it goes into my body, I can't stop it. Like, even if it's the most mild feeling of anxiety, I can't stop it. Like, I can't just remove the feelings from my body. So I have to find a way to cope. In the moment when I do feel anxiety about to hit my body, I remind myself, this is step number 2, I remind myself of relaxation. Remind myself to relax. I literally tell myself, Noelia, relax. Just relax. You already know that anxiety is kicking in, and fine. That's okay. Anxiety, I've been struggling with this my whole life. So it's fine, but relax. I tell myself, it's okay, Noelia. You just relax and stay grounded, because it's not the end of the world. This anxiety kicking in is not the end of the world. Once I tell myself to relax, that's when I immediately go into starting to think. This is tip number 3. I immediately go into thinking happy, positive thoughts, or any other thoughts that don't have to do with why I have anxiety right now and that I have anxiety right now. You can think happy thoughts, or you can just think of anything else that doesn't have to do with what's going on in the moment. I usually think about thoughts that keep me grounded. Thoughts that keep me grounded is literally thoughts of gratitude. This might sound really cliche, but reminding myself that I am so blessed. I remind myself that I'm breathing, that I should be so grateful and happy that I'm breathing. And I remind myself that after this anxiety attack or anxiety feelings, the world is still gonna go on. That everything is gonna be okay. It's not the end of the world because I have anxiety right now. just think anything else. A way that I used to cope with my anxiety growing up in school, and this might even work for you now if you want to do this. I don't need to do this anymore, but when I was in school, and I'm talking about kindergarten, no, I'm talking about from like 4th grade and up, like my whole life. I used to think of a song that would make me happy and make me think happy things, and I would sing that song in my head. And I actually do still do this sometimes. I do still think about a song that makes me happy, and I'll just start trying to sing that in my head. Thing to just remove the feelings and the thoughts of my anxiety in the moment. Okay, number 4 is silence. When I do get anxiety, I usually want to get into a quiet space, whether it's my room or my car. If I'm out in public, if I do have anxiety, I would try to get to a restroom or something so I can just have some silence to myself. Trying to distract myself with loud music or putting myself in a loud environment literally just makes me have more anxiety. Like, it makes me way more anxious hearing a bunch of noises while I already have anxiety. So in that moment, when I need that silence, I need to just let my mind rest, just relax without noise. Whether it's 5 minutes of silence, 1 hour of silence, or a day of silence, I will take any silence that I can get to recoup my thoughts. You guys, another tip and one of my best golden tips for you is ask God to take your anxiety away. That's simple. That's it. I literally, when I don't find any other way to cope, I literally say, God, please take this anxiety from me. It's really affecting me. I literally tell him, I don't want this anxiety. I don't want it. I don't want the anxiety. Take it. It's yours. Pretty much just let him take my anxiety. And you guys, after this step, usually my anxiety calms down extremely, like tremendously. I might still have it a little, but it completely calms down. Now I'm gonna get into long-term coping techniques for anxiety. So these are habits and techniques that you can practice to better your anxiety for it to not get as bad. Number 1 is becoming confident. I don't mean look wise. I don't mean become super confident in how you look. I'm talking about become confident with who you are. Confidence within, knowing who you are, knowing how you deal with situations, and knowing what helps you. That's why you have to know yourself, because in order to help yourself, you have to know yourself. You have to know what helps you. You have to know what helps you deal best with your anxiety. Once you know what helps you deal best with your anxiety, you become more confident in knowing that you can help yourself get past this hard moment of anxiety. Okay, my next step, avoid drinking. I know, we're in a world today where we want to get lit. You know, you want to go out and party with your friends, whatever. But literally, consuming alcohol and being under the influence of alcohol or anything, it will skyrocket any anxiety that you already have. You might be thinking, how? After you're hungover, or at least I know for me that when I'm hungover the next day, whether it's the smallest bit of feeling hungover, my anxiety is way worse than on a day that I don't drink the previous day and I don't feel like shit the next day. You can relate to this, but I really do think that your body not being in its normal state, and I believe that when you're hungover, your body's not in a normal state. So when your body's not in a normal state, any feelings of anxiety or any other feelings that you have are gonna get magnified with you being not in your regular state. So I'd rather not put myself in that situation. So that means I would just rather not drink, because I would rather be able to fully control what I'm feeling, and being hungover just does not help me do that. The next one's gonna sound cliche, but listen. I need you to listen and take into consideration, because this is super important. Super important. Get all the sleep that you need. Get all the rest and the sleep that your body needs. Stop depriving your body from rest. Stop depriving your body from the sleep that it needs. I know that we're busy. I know that we want to live our life and have fun, but you are a priority. you are a priority. So you need to get your sleep. Your body needs to rest and recharge. It needs it. Body needs to replenish its energies. That's why a lot of times when we're really tired or we're like extremely exhausted from lack of sleep, we start thinking other stuff. Like your mind does not function, your mind and your body does not function correctly when it doesn't get the sleep that it needs. Literally, lack of sleep and being overly exhausted, your mind to be fuzzy. Like I said, it can cause weird thoughts that you wouldn't be having if your mind and your body was well rested and refreshed. Okay, you guys, another coping technique is learn your triggers. If you can avoid what gives you anxiety, if you learn your triggers and you learn what gives you anxiety, you can prevent yourself from putting yourself in situations that hurt you, meaning give you that anxiety, the spike of anxiety attack. Best to just not put yourself in those situations. If you care about yourself, don't put yourself in situations that are going to harm you. Of course, if you don't have to, because I know that we are humans and we have a lot of things to do throughout the day and experiences. And I know that there's people who literally get anxiety just from their boss at work or going to the grocery shop or even ordering a drink at Starbucks. Like, I know it's really hard and it's really sad because I know how bad that this affects the day-to-day life. But when you have to put yourself in those situations, of course, this is when you use the coping techniques that I mentioned earlier. And if you have to put yourself in those situations, that's why you need to learn your triggers and you need to learn how to help yourself. You need to learn what helps you so that you're ready to deal with whatever spike of anxiety that you get in that moment. Okay, you guys, another technique is socialize. Don't isolate yourself just because you struggle with anxiety. This is only going to harm you in the long run. Isolating yourself, making yourself feel like I can't be around people because I know how I get and I know that I have really bad anxiety and people might look at me like I'm weird or like what's wrong with her. This is only going to harm you. You're gonna harm yourself. This is gonna push you into loneliness. This is gonna push you into depression, etc. Just not good things. And guys, I'm literally telling you this from experience. I have been there myself. I felt like I was a weirdo because I could not socialize in anywhere. Like I just had anxiety about socializing anywhere. That did lead me to depression and it led me to places that were dark and just not good. So do not isolate yourself. Socialize, whether it's with your friends, your coworkers, your family. Practice socializing. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. You're not gonna die just because you get anxiety and other people see it. If anything, to be honest, I think that when people see that somebody has anxiety, I think that they're a little more sensible to it. Like I think that they're a little more like, okay, they have anxiety. That's fine. I don't think that they're looking at you or me like, what the fuck is wrong with them? At least I don't think so. I want to say that it's okay to share. Like if you want to share that you have anxiety with the people that you love and the closest people to you, which they probably already know, it's okay to share it. It's okay to talk about it and it's okay to say, hey, I'm sorry, I'm getting like really bad anxiety right now. If they don't understand that, they need to not be your friend or in your circle. If they make you feel bad for your anxiety, they need to not be in your circle. Because anxiety is a real fucking thing. It's a real fucking thing. And people who are not sensitive to it need to fuck off. Like, because this is real. This affects millions of people every day. Don't feel like an alien just because you have anxiety. Trust me, it's okay. It's okay. Millions of people have it. To finish off this video, I'm gonna finish by saying, keep fighting that anxiety every day. Do not let your anxiety win. Do not let your anxiety take over you because you are stronger than that. You are not your anxiety. You are not your anxiety. Say to yourself every day, I'm not my anxiety. I'm not my anxiety. I'm not my anxiety. I'm not my anxiety. I had to do this. I had to do this to myself for years. I'm not my anxiety. You got this. I really think that people's mental health is so important and you just need to take care of yourself. You have to take care of yourself. And if you know things that trigger you or harm you in any way or make you feel not good, it's best to avoid them and work on them and make yourself feel better and tell yourself everything is going to be okay. Okay, you guys, that is the end of my video. I hope that you guys got something from it. I hope that I could have helped anybody, even if it's one person. My anxiety has been through the roof. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in my next video. I love you guys.